Okay, so when we talk about government cover-ups, horror films, Evan City, okay. Project Red Light, 8mm Dormont Police, Butler County cases involving the Cherrie Mahan case or connections to it. Now, I'm just telling you, I have some things that I just basically need to know. When I walked into the daycare center at 14 years old, my sister was in a crib for 4 days, unattended for, with a broken leg. She was 5 years old. We've been introduced to porn at 4 and 5 years old. So when I talk to other kids who've been introduced to any kind of pornography at under 18, there's some basic questions that have to be asked. It would not allow us to know this, which is pretty foolish, being as all of us have been introduced to porn at 4 and 5 years old. It's actually foolish to even have a discussion with these people. Because I feel like we're just going to go round and round with some individuals. So I'm going to point out some things that I feel strongly about since we were thrown into this, basically. So when I go to the Beaver area, naturally, I think we can all make the assumption that people make, comments about Beaver. Being as there was a film called Intersection. I actually was talking to someone who knows some people who filmed the movie Intersection. It all comes down to these kids and the doors closing, and we wrote letters and we've asked about HB 951, HB 621, about how that information would be released to the public. So here's my strong view on child rape cases and abuse cases, and because there's been such disrespect towards the victims, and I'm sad to say that I have watched and witnessed some of your behaviors and actions and your conduct that honestly not one of you would be even included in this discussion. Not one of you have the respect that I need. I need a conduct, and I need to know. Things that stuck out to me is about the washer and dryer, a little girl. This clue came to me, and that whether it's a strong lead or not, I feel strongly about this. I would not have been led right here. I had the dream in 2015, 2016. Right before there was a shooting in Squirrel Hill, I had a couple other dreams 4 days before this. So this dream and vision I had is about the Cherrie Mahan case. Now, I've been pretty correct. I've been pretty accurate. This came to me in 2015. If he's taking credit for this, that's his own fault. Because I don't want to be involved in this. This would be the movie, yeah, the fingerprints. The individuals, they get the fingerprints they needed. They got their case. They got their case against the rape victims. Now you can process the victims. They got their case against the crime victims. Are they finished? Are they finished assaulting the crime victims? Because I need to know. They've been harassing the crime victims this long. Are they finished assaulting the crime victims? Are they finished? Thank you, Dr. Sarah Weck, for your assistance. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Sarah Weck. Thank you, Tammy. So upon pretrial jury selection, involving the victims of rape and assault, as long as the public is done scrutinizing the victims for coming forward and calling them rats and names, this was a clue, this was a clue, this was a clue. These are all clues and concerns about abduction, missing persons cases in Mount Lebanon up to here. They're done prosecuting the victims. Thank you for processing the rapist. And it's a dog case, and it's Robert Bowers. The branch, the tree. This is all neighbors in this community saw the branch fall down. They all saw the branch fall down, which is a prophetic story. This is like prophetic. I saw this in a dream, and then the branch fell down. The Tree of Life case. Rape and humiliation. Strangulation, homicide cases, blocked emails. You done processing the victims? That's why there's a government shutdown. They're done processing and raping and assaulting the victims on the highway. Keep that shutdown going. Thank you. They're done processing the victims in the county court system and disarming them. Thank you. Continue with that shutdown. Thank you. They're done processing the rape victims. Good. And you know why there's outrage? Because not one of us invited those assaults, not one time. I've not ever met a victim who's ever invited an assault, not one time. That's why exposing it. And, you know, ironically, in this summer, there was a certain priest, how they used the names and how they changed the names. The priest, we've been following the David Zublik channel for years. Ironically, when I was reading the Butler Eagle, they changed his name, the priest, to David Zublik. It was the same time this was happening. They changed his name. And the priest, do you see how twisted this is? I've been watching the David Zublik channel long before I even came back to PA. Do you know that the priest that's named in the Catholic rape case right now, how they use victims and how they use this, that's why identifying the subject for description of what he looks like, they have him, and they did this in the Butler Eagle, and this is during the Catholic rape case, that it was exposed this summer, meaning they're trying to pin it on somebody else again. This is what happened to my dad. They tried to pin this on my dad in 1985. It's an inside job. That's exactly how criminal this cabal is. You get it? They've been accusing the victims again, using the victims against each other. Guys, I will say it's in the Butler Eagle. You want to confirm that report, please? Because I know they've been doing this to us since we were little, too. Meaning, it's good to prosecute the victims, right? Make sure there's a grand jury selection ASAP, please. They're not going to keep accusing the victims out there and leaving us on the street. You're all finished, right? You're finished?